Hello students, I have already discussed what is biology and why you want to study biology in my first lecture. Now today I am going to deliver a lecture on branches of biology. As you know, if you do not know the branches of biology, our knowledge would not be completed, and many of the students after completing their degree courses may not be able to answer or do not know what are the different branches of biology. Initially, to start with the study in biology, we must have know the branches of biology. I hope you will attend the lecture and will grasp what actually biology is and what are the scopes of biology and what are the different branches that are incorporated in biology, and how you can choose your career in biology. Now let me start with branches of biology. As you know, biology, the science of living organism, can be broadly divided into three different categories. One, botany, number two, zoology, and third one is microbiology. So what actually botany is? The study of plants. What zoology actually is? Study of animals. So how can you distinguish plants and animal is also a matter. So plants, as you know, which have leaves and cannot move from one place to another, they can prepare their own food as they have chlorophyll. But animals are those living organisms which can move from one place to another and cannot prepare their own food and solely depend on plant for their survival. And the third kingdom, which is not known to many, are microbiology. So what does microbiology deals with? It deals with the microorganism. What is micro? The organism, micro means which cannot be seen. So microorganism is organism which cannot be seen with our naked eye. So biology basically is divided into botany, zoology, and microbiology: plants, animals, and microorganisms. In addition to these three branches, some new branches also emerges in biology, what we call it as biotechnology. This part we will discuss in other lecture. So now again, biology can be divided into two branches depending on application of knowledge. What is knowledge? Our ideas and all these things. What are these? They are fundamental and applied biology. What is fundamental biology? This particular branch of biology deals with different functioning, structure, and other fundamental things which are found in both plants and animal, and even in the microorganism also. And second part is applied biology, the knowledge of fundamental branch when applied for the economic purpose or for our day-to-day life earnings or for our day-to-day life survival is embodied in applied biology. So these two branches, basically we are divided on the application of our knowledge. So now let me discuss about the branches of fundamental biology. What is fundamental? Which is found in every aspect in the living organisms. So various branches of fundamental biology include: number one, morphology. What it is derived from morph and logos. So morphology. What is morph? Means shape or form. What is shape? Shape means some appearance, that is maybe length, breadth, height, whatever may be, how do they look. And logos means to study. So morphology deals with the study of shape and external structure of living organism. What is external? Outer structure of living organism and the shape of the organism. So as you do see, you will observe that a cow and a tiger may not look alike. So this means morphologically they are different. Human being and other animal do not look alike, mean they are morphologically different. So next is histology. Histos means cobweb and logos means study. So it deals with the composition, organization, structure and organization of cell and tissues. You are familiar with the term cell, which is, as you know, cell is the structural and functional unit of all living organism. So, and tissue, many cells performing similar function constitute the tissue. So here in histology, histology usually deals with the structure and organization, how they are organized, how they are arranged, how they are combined together, or how they have tagged together, constitute study of those cell and tissue is called histology. So next is anatomy. Ana means above, termino means dissection. So anatomy means after dissecting, what we do observe in within the body of the living organism constitute anatomy. So let me tell you, if we dissect and cut open the body, then we will be able to see some structures within the body or the organs within the body. Study of those internal structure and organs is called anatomy. Next, very interesting topic is cytology. Kaitos means hollow and logos means study. So what actually it means? Very familiar with study of cell. If I say cell, you know what is cell. So you may be able to find cells in both plants and animal with which living organism is made up of. So cytology deals with the study of cell and cell inclusion. What does this inclusion? Whatever is present within the cell. As you are familiar with different cell organelles such as mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, ribosome, lysosome, nucleus, and all the cytoplasm, protoplasm, all these things within the cell. The study of all these things are encompassed in the cytology. So cytology is the study of cell and cell inclusions. Next part is physiology. Physis means nature and logos means study. So nature and study of what? Various life processes and functioning of living organisms. See, life processes mean different function are going within our body, like respiration, excretion, digestion, reproduction, every process. Whatever process is going within our body, not only in animals but also in plants, and also their way of functioning within the body of the living organism. So physiology deals with the functioning of our body for sustaining our life. Next part is genetic. You are very familiar with the term genetic. Genesis means origin of living organism, how a living organism originated. So genetics is the study of heredity of living organism. What is heredity? Heredity means transmission of parental character to the offspring. That is, as you know, you are familiar with the term gene. How gene carries the information or character from the father and mother to their offspring. So that is what we are discussing in genetics, how gene function, how gene transmit from father and mother to the offspring, and how it determine the characters of the living organism. All these things we will discuss in genetics. Next is embryology. M means inside and broad to become swollen. Logos means study. So means embryology means study of the development of embryo. As you know, you have in the process of the reproduction, due to fusion of the male and female gamete, a zygote is formed. Zygote in course develop into an embryo. So how this process of development of an embryo by during the process of reproduction, that we will discuss in the embryology. So embryology deals with the detailed study of process of development of embryo. So how an embryo is formed, that is discussed in embryology. Next is pathology, very familiar term. Pathos means trouble and logos. So troubles, what type of trouble? So we are suffering from different diseases which are caused by bacteria, viruses, and many other. As today we are familiar with COVID-19. So this is also caused due to certain virus, and these troubles are being caused by those virus, and study of those type of troubles is encompassed in the pathology. So it is the study of symptom. What are the symptoms? Say, let me tell you something about the symptom. If anyone asks you about the symptom of what is the symptom of that disease, you will tell vomiting, pain, headache, pain in our stomach, and so many other type of complaint that is occurring in our body. That is what we call it as symptom. Nature, how these troubles are behaving, and causes of disease of living beings. So what is the cause of the living? All these things, symptom, nature, and cause of disease of living thing or living beings are being studied in pathology. Next part is our taxonomy. Taxis means arrangement, and nomos means rule or law. So what is the arrangement? So anything, or I don't say anything, but in biology we say arrangement according to rule. What is this arrangement? There are vast number of living organisms. Some are modified, some are higher, some are highly developed, some are less developed. So we are to identify, how to identify those organisms, how to give nomenclature. What is the meaning of the term nomenclature? Nomenclature means giving name to a certain organism. So nomenclature means to assign a particular name. And classification? What does this word classification mean? Classification means to place them according to their development or according to their evolutionary tendency. So we are to classify what type of organism it is, how they are to be arranged on the so arrangement of those organisms on the basis of their developmental process, or according to their developed and gradual development or less developed likewise. So if we may be able to segregate these, then we may be able to arrange them in a precise manner. So taxonomy deals with the proper arrangement of living organism on the basis of the evolutionary tendencies, maintaining certain rules. That is what we will discuss in taxonomy. Next is evolution. What is the meaning of the term evolution? Outside, both means circulation. So evolution actually means how a living organism originated, how it has come to the present form due to gradual modification, how gradual modification has taken place, how this modification has taken place, why this modification has taken place, and has achieved to the higher rank or present form. That will be discussed in evolution. So if I say, let me give you an example. Many people used to utter that human being has originated from monkey. Now my question is, this is also an evolution. If it so might have happened, then how the human being has evolved, how it has modified to achieve this human being form from the monkey, or how this monkey has originated, how the life has originated in earth, and how this life has achieved different forms, and why some are more advanced and why some are less advanced, how one descend from the other, how the branching of such has taken place and achieved different form. That all will be discussed in evolution. So it deals with the sequence of descent of more complex, more recent, more advanced living being. From where? From simpler and primitive type. As you know, our primitive forefathers were not so advanced like us, but how we have achieved such an advanced form, that these things will be discussed in evolution. How this modification has taken place in ourselves or in all other living organisms, both plants and animal, and now how it has achieved such an advanced form, that will be discussed in evolution. Next is ecology. So ecology, oikos means house and logos is study. So what does it mean? It means study of organism in relation to living and non-living surrounding. What is our relation with the environment? How this organism interact with the environment? How environment influence us? How environment influences other living organism? How the non-living components of the environment have its role in our cell? Why we need both biotic and abiotic for survival of a living organism. A living organism need both biotic and abiotic environment. How this biotic living thing influences us, or how a non-living thing, that all will be discussed in ecology. So it is the study of organism in relation to living and non-living surrounding, or our relationship with the environment. Next is our paleontology. Paleos means anti-existent, logos in discourse or study. So, what does it mean? It means study of primitive forms of plants and animal that were existed in millions of years ago, and how they were preserved, and study of those fossils which were preserved, and from that how we may be able to assess how this organism has undergone modification during the geological time period. What is geological? The time period during different eras and periods where the Earth from evolution to today, we have divided eras and periods. And which era, which organism has originated, which has undergone extinction, how this modification has taken place, and how the present form has achieved. The study of all those things from the fossil preserved is discussed under paleontology. Next is our biogeography. You maybe know about the geography. Now, geography of living organism. Geography means about the earth, distribution of different. So, biogeography deals with the distribution of plants and animals over the entire world. But with the help of biogeography, we may be able to know which plant is found in which part of the earth, which animal is found in which part of the. As you know, all animals are not distributed throughout the world. They are restricted. Many animals and many plants are restricted to certain areas. Why it is so? Why it is endemic? Why some are cosmopolitan distribution? That part. And by studying biogeography, we may be able to know which animal is found in which part of the world, and which plant can be found in which part of the world. Let me give you an example. Kangaroo. If I take an example of kangaroo, it is not seen in different parts of the world. It is found only restricted to Australian region. Maybe another bird, kiwi. You may not able to see kiwi anywhere else other than New Zealand. So, how we came to know this? By studying, biogeography helps to know all these things. So, a biology student may be able to know the distribution of plants and animals in the different parts of the world. Next is our economic biology. This particular branch deals with commercial and economic aspect of plants, animal, and microorganisms towards mankind. So this particular branch provides us a knowledge about commercial and economic aspect, value of those plants, animal, and microorganisms towards ourselves. How we will be benefited, what benefit we can derive from them. Those part, which animal is essential, which animal is harmful, which animal will provide us a living source for ourselves. That part is discussed in economic biology. And another branch, recently discussed branch, is exobiology. So beyond Earth, we are studying life. So it deals with the life that may exist in outer space. So we may be able to study now. We are in a position to know whether life is there in moon or not, in the outer space of the earth. So exobiology deals with the existence of life that in the outer space. So these are the fundamental branches of biology. These branches are both equally found in zoology as well as, if we restricted to plant, then also we may be able to see all this application of all these branches in animal. Similarly, in animal or in zoology, we may be able to follow all these branches. Then we maybe know about the animal, and if we confine to biology and even to the microorganism also, these branches, these 15 different branches are very essential. These are fundamental branches and is applicable in botany, zoology, as well as in microbiology. So without taking help of all these things, we may not be able to gather knowledge about all any animals or plants or microorganism in true sense. So this particular part of the biology is very essential for a student to start with, because it helps in every sphere of his career. Without knowing this, if anyone start biology, then he or she may not be in a position to understand all the things in a precise manner. So it's my request to all the students to grab all these things so that it will help you. Now let me skip to the next one. Another is, now question is, branches of applied biology. We have already discussed branches of fundamental biology. Now applied biology. What actually applied biology is? This particular branch of biology is an evolved one, which is essential for economic and commercial knowledge, commercial value of things, and how this applied biology will earn livelihood for for human being. So the knowledge acquired through fundamental or basic study is applied for whatever we have gathered from fundamental biology or basic study is applied for economic, commercial, and other welfare. Welfare means day-to-day activities, is known as applied knowledge or applied biology. Applied biology is broadly divided into two categories due to diverse function of plants and animals. As you know, function of plants and animals do have some diversity. So we have segregated botany and zoology. So branches of applied botany and branches of applied. So here applied botany will deal precisely with plants, and applied zoology will discuss precisely with zoology. Now what are the branches of applied zoology, applied botany? So confined to the plant. So first branch is agriculture. You are familiar with the term agriculture. What agriculture deals with? Deals with the study of soil management and crop production. How the soil is to be managed and how crop could be produced. This part deals with agriculture. Now, soil management, if I tell you about soil management, how to manage, how to provide fertilizer, how to make soil ready for plantation, and second part is how to sow seed, how to maintain this, and how fruiting will take place, and how we will get benefit out of it. This part is discussing agriculture. Due to development of this agriculture, today we are getting our food, rice, if it's a rice, wheat, or any other vegetable and all these things. Otherwise, it is not at all possible to suffice the needs of 30 million peoples of India. So agriculture is very important branch. Many can take it as career also. Next is our horticulture, study of cultivation of fruit. How to cultivate fruits, which type of fruit is beneficial, how you will cultivate, what type of management is required for cultivation of fruit, that is discussed in horticulture. Next part is agronomy. It's a very unknown terms to you, maybe, but today you will be familiar with the term agronomy. Study of process of sowing. What does it mean? It means how to sow seed. Just putting seed under the soil is not enough. So how to sow seed, which type of seed, how it is sown, and all these things are discussed in agronomy. Next part is forestry. You are familiar with the term forest. So forest is very valuable. It gives us many products for our survival. So many timber plants and all these things for building our houses and all these things we are obtaining from the forest. Many fruits, many other food crops and all these things we are getting from the forest. So forestry deals with art of managing forest. Just if we say forest will provide, it is not enough. How we are to manage forest so that we may get enough product from it. So management of art of is art. So there is a technique. If I say about art, it is a technique. The technique of managing forest. Next is pharmacology. You are familiar with the term pharmacy, so this term may be very much related to medicine. So study of medicinal, as you know, most of the medicine usually is extracted or derived from the plant. So study of medicinal plant, those plant which are from where we are extracting medicine, the study of those plant is called pharmacology. Next is bacteriology. You are familiar with the term bacteria. So study of those bacteria is called bacteriology. Next is phycology or algology. What is phycology or algology? Study of algae. What is algae? Green filamentous structure or plant, we say, is called algae. So algae can prepare. Another term is, those which cannot prepare their own food are considered under fungi. So study of algae is called phycology or algology. Next is study of fungi. You may be familiar with mushroom or familiar with yeast and all these things. These are fungi. They cannot prepare their own food. So study of those plant or plant-like organism is called mycology. Why fungi cannot prepare their own food? Because they don't have the chlorophyll. So next is lichenology. What is study of lichens? What is lichen? Lichen is association of algae and fungi, if I say. So this combination provides a good relationship which is very essential, and it is the first symbiotic relationship that we can observe. Next is virology. You are familiar with the term, very important term, that is what we call it as virus. So study of virus and how virus is spreading disease and all about virus we are studying in virology. Next is bryology. So it is the study of liverwort and mosses. You are familiar with mosses. What are mosses? You may observe in some places, wet places, where you find some structures, green structures or carpety structure usually develop in the wall. What we call it as mosses. So study of mosses are called bryology. Next is our pteridology. What is pteridology? You may be familiar with the term fern. So study of fern or fern family is called pteridophyta. Next is pomology. What is pomology? It is the study of fruits. So all about the fruits is called pomology. Next is floriculture. Ornamental flowering, study of ornamental flowering plant. What is ornamental? Many people used to go for gardening with different varieties of flower which are very nice to look at. So study of those flowers are called ornamental flowering plant. Next is our food technology. So study of processing and preservation. So we are preparing different types of fruit from plant products. So how we are to preserve, how we are to process, and all these things are discussed under food technology. So processing of food and preservation. Why we need preservation? Otherwise it will deteriorate. So how to preserve, that is also discussed in food technology. So next branch is our branches of applied zoology. So about animals. What are the different applied branches? As you know, in the market, you are buying fish. It earns many can earn a valuable amount of money from it. So, pisciculture or ichthyology is the study of fish, not only fish, study of fish, which fish is which type of fish, what type of fish, how it can be grown, and all these things are discussed under pisciculture or ichthyology. Next is sericulture, study of breeding of silkworm for the production of silk. Many of us were wearing silk clothes. How it is coming? It is coming from an insect called silkworm. It looks like butterfly, but it is a moth. There is a difference between moth and butterfly. So it is a moth. It produces certain fibers with the help of which we are preparing silken clothes. So sericulture deals with the breeding of silkworm and production of silk. Next is our apiculture. You are familiar with the term honeybee. What we are getting? We are getting honey and wax from it. So study of honeybee, how you are to rear honey, how you are to extract honey, how you are to extract that wax from honey. So the study of all these things included in apiculture. Next is lac culture, study and production of not silk but it is lac. What is called lac? Lac is a resin which helps in many aspects, like in the preparation of many waxes and all other things for binding and all these things. Even this lac is used in binding ornaments and all these things. So next is our poultry. You are familiar with duck, chicken and all these things. So rearing of duck, chicken or any birds for production of meat and egg is discussed under poultry. So it also includes rearing of poultry farm, rearing of other birds and all these things. Next is our pearl. What is a pearl? Many people used to wear ring in their finger. What is called mukta and all these things. Mukta. So this mukta is called pearl. So other pearls are also there. So study of this pearl, it is animal origin. So study of this pearl is called pearl culture. How do you want to culture? Pearl western and all these things. Next is piggery. You may be familiar with pig. Recently, it has in the news that this animal in Assam is suffering from flu. So you may be familiar with pig. Study of bringing up, how to bring up the pig and how you are to get benefit out of this pig. So study of all these things is piggery. Next is our dairy. You are familiar with dairy deals with the milk and milk product. You are familiar with. You are obtaining ghee, cheese and all these things from milk. So from where it is coming? It is coming from cattle. Cattle means include cow, buffalo, and other goat also. So study of cattle farming for the production of milk and milk product is called dairy farming. Next branch is parasitology. What is parasitology? Parasites. You are familiar with. There are so many parasites which are destroying our crops also, causing various diseases in ourselves. So those protozoan parasite and all these things. So those parasites which are harmful to us, those study of those parasites and how these parasites are producing harm in our body, that is discussed in parasitology. Next is our entomology. You may be familiar with the term insect, and you may encounter so many insects in our day-to-day life. The study of those insects are called entomology. Next is our ornithology. Is very much related to bird. So you may be familiar with the term Salim Ali, an ornithologist. So what he has studied? He has studied birds. So study of birds. Birds include all birds you may be familiar with. Whatever bird you are entering, sparrow, crow, parrot, and all those birds. The study of all those birds are called ornithology. Melacology, study of mollusk. What are mollusks? Snail and all these things you are familiar with. You are encountering those snail and all these things in the boundary wall or somewhere else. You can see those things. The study of those mollusks. You may be familiar with octopus. sepia, oligo, all those are included under mollusks. So study of all those type of mollusks are called malacology. Next is protozoology. Proto means primitive, study of those primitive animals. Who are these primitive animals? Protozoan, primitive animal. So most of these are unicellular animal. Say Entamoeba, amoeba, entamoeba, and so many other protozoan. The study of those primitive animals are called protozoa. Next is helminthology, study of worms. What are worms? So those worms which are residing within our body, or not only in our body, in other animal also, in our intestine or somewhere else, and getting and producing harms in ourselves, like ascaris, tapeworm, and all these things. The study of those type of worms are called helminthology. Next is our herpetology. What is herpetology? It is study of reptiles. Very familiar term. From Dinosaurus was also a reptile. Your wall lizard is a reptile. Snake is a reptile. Your turtle is a reptile. So study of those type of animals are called herpetology. Finally, we have come to mammalogy, study of mammals. It also includes human beings. Who are mammals? Mammals are those animals which do have hairs covering in their body, hair or fur in their body. Usually, they give birth to their young one, except monotremes. And study of those animals are called mammalogy. So when we come to the mammalogy, we will be able to incorporate ourselves, because we are also mammal. So these are some of the important branches of biology. So dear students, I hope you have grabbed this from my lecture. But if you do have any problem, you can also contact me. If you, I can help you. In my next class, I shall discuss with you scope, importance, and application of biology. So we have completed branches of biology. So in the next class, we will discuss with you scope. What is the scope of biology? What is the importance of biology in ourselves, and why it is needed, and how the knowledge of biology can be applied. So thank you all of you for patient hearing. If you have any problem, you can also contact me. Lastly, I would like to request you, if you feel this particular lecture is beneficial for you, then please like my lecture. This will encourage me so that I can prepare many more lecture for you. So in the next lecture, you follow. Thank you all of you for today.